Solving equations with fractions uses the same three principles as solving equations that we've already learnt. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. Remember, equations are two equal statements and they must remain equal by using the same operations on both sides. Secondly, to remove a number, use the opposite operation to one's being used. For example, the opposite of plus is minus. And thirdly, to remove the numbers in the reverse of order operations. Let's look at some basic examples. So the first we're going to look at is 3a over 5 equals 9. Now, to the a here, in between the 3 and the a, is an invisible times. And remember, over is the same as divide. Multiplication and division are equal in the order of operations, so we can remove either one of them first. We're going to start with removing the 5. This is over 5. Remember, over means divide. So to get rid of a divide by 5, I would need to multiply this side of the equation by 5. If I'm going to multiply this side of the equation by 5, I must also multiply the right-hand side by 5. Working those out now on this side, the 5 and the divided by 5 are cancelling each other, and I'm just left with 3a. And over here, 9 times 5 is 45. Note that I'm trying to keep my equal signs lined up down the page. That makes for good setting out. In between the 3 and the a, remember there is an invisible times. To get rid of this multiplication, I'm going to divide by 3. So I'm dividing by 3 on the left-hand side. I must also then, wrote a 9, that's helpful, must also then divide by 3 on the right-hand side. So on this side, the 3's are cancelling again, leaving an a. And on this side, 45 divided by 3 leaves me with 15, and that's the answer. Let's look at one slightly more complicated. Say we have 4b plus 2 over 5, and this time it's going to equal 6. This time I've got to get rid of a 4, a 2, and a 5 to find out what the b is. So again, reversing order of operations is a bit trickier here. Because this is all divided by 5, we need to treat as if this is in brackets. So we can't remove this 4 and 2 until we've got rid of the 5. So again, to get rid of a division, we're going to multiply. So multiply the left-hand side and the right-hand side by the same number. On this side, the 5's have cancelled, just leaving the 4b plus 2. And on the right-hand side, we get 30. I've now got b being multiplied by 4 and added with 2. Now, order of operations tells me that times goes before plus, so when removing them, I do the opposite. So I'm going to get rid of the plus first. To get rid of a plus 2, I will minus 2. If I minus 2 here, I also have to minus 2 on the other side of the equation. So working out each side now, the 2's have cancelled, leaving a 4b. And on this side, 30 minus 2 is 28. I now need to remove the 4. Between the 4 and the b is the invisible times. To get rid of multiplication, I'm going to divide both sides of the equation by 4. Left-hand side is going to cancel, just leaving b. And the right-hand side, 28 divided by 4 is 7. And that's my answer. All right, let's look at one more. Let's say we have 7c over 8 minus 5 equals 2. So for this one, the fraction is only on the 7c is the only part of the fraction. The minus 5 is separate. So I'm actually going to remove this one first because order of operations, the times and the divide come before minus. So when reversing them, I'm going to get rid of this first. So to get rid of a minus 5, I'm going to add 5. If I add 5 on this side, I need to add 5 on this side. On the left-hand side, they cancel, leaving the fraction 7c over 8. And on the right-hand side, 5 plus 2 is 7. To get rid of a divide by 8, I'm going to multiply by 8. These are going to cancel, leaving 7c. 7 8s are 56. Between the 7 and c is a multiplication, so to get rid of it, I'm going to divide, giving me the answer of c equals 8. So that's 3 simple examples on how we solve equations with fractions. So remember, we are making sure that whatever we do to one side, we do to the other, making sure we're using the opposite operation to remove each number and making sure we remove them in the opposite order to order of operations.